Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the second podcast for my YouTube channel and the second step in this grand adventure of becoming a successful fantasy author. At least that is the end game. If you haven't watched the first episode that I uploaded, please go ahead and check that out. It's just an introduction on myself, what got me interested in fantasy, and what's brought me in my journey so far to wanting to write an epic fantasy. And I think that would be very helpful to check that out before watching this one. But if not, feel free to continue to listen as I will be discussing today two different subjects. I want to provide an update for where I'm at in the first draft for my first book, as well as provide an outlook for some near future goals for my writing, a series of how I want to publish my first few books and what that timeline looks like. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting out, let me talk first about my game plan for the first 5 books that I will be writing. I think that it is some lofty goals, but they're goals that definitely I can hit and that I want to hit, and I'm really excited about for them. Of course, it'll all be done in an epic fashion. So what I'll first be covering is my goals through 2026. Now that's covering about 2.5 years, which it's actually not too much time, but it's still a little bit. But I still want to provide an outlook on what I will be doing that time, as I know this is when I will be releasing my first 5 books. I am not starting on a series. What the intention is to write 5 standalone epic fantasy novels. However, they will all take place in my universe, and therefore they will all have some related themes or elements. And if you want to really dive into them, and they will definitely relate to future books, so they will all interconnect. These first 5 a little bit more indirectly than maybe some later ones, but they are all standalone. You'll be able to read each of them by itself and still enjoy it, even if you don't read the others. So, why so many standalone books? Well, first of all, that probably isn't too many, 5. It can be common to write even 10 before you publish a first book, or you might publish the first book you've ever written. I'll go into some later detail down the road and maybe make a separate episode on some past writings that I've done. But I think that 5 standalone ones will allow me to practice some skills that I want to really try to work with. I want to be a little bit adventurous on some of my writings, try some different things before I go into making a series. And I do have some ideas on the first few series that I want to write. I have some big plans, but I won't discuss them yet just because they're still in the works. But I think writing 5 first standalones, trying some different things with them, is a very good first step to lead me to getting into my first full series that I'll be writing. My writing goals might seem a little bit aggressive. That is 5 books released within a span of 2.5 years. I'll be finishing a book every half year or so. However, I enjoy writing. It's my passion. It's what I do. So getting the word count out isn't necessarily a problem. It's just getting the focus and the determination in, which I have. So I'm excited to tackle it. It is a good challenge, and it is a fair challenge for me. And each book, too, even though they'll be epic fantasy in nature, because they are standalone, I'll be focusing on just a couple main characters, 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most. The word count in them is not going to be as large as you think of maybe Robert Jordan or Brandon Sanderson or some of your others. So starting out, they might be around 130, 100, maybe to 140,000 words per book, which will come out to around 350 pages. So nothing huge in scope, but definitely will have that epic fantasy elements, though, that are so key and crucial to what I want from my writing. There will be plenty of updates that I'll be giving as the months go by, as for my future ideas for how I want to publish these, what my strategies are for that, and how I want to release them. I'm really excited for it. I think it's a good business plan with a good business mindset behind it, but I will be releasing those specifics in the future. For right now, though, I'm going to update you on where I'm at for the first draft of my first book, as well as maybe give a little bit of an update on my second book as well, as that is in very early development. The first draft to book one is about halfway done. I am just crossed the 65,000 word mark. And as I said before, they'll be around 130 to 135,000 words in that vicinity. So roughly halfway done. And my goal is to finish the first draft by Christmas time. I believe I should be able to do that unless sicknesses come up. I know how the cold seasons are, and I got two young ones, and so that can definitely play a factor. But as long as everything goes fairly smoothly, that should definitely be able to be met. If not by Christmas time, then very soon afterwards. I write around 10,000 words a week. My writing's a little bit different. I try to write, I know they recommend they I know that it is recommended by some to write about 1 to 2,000 words a day depending on where you're at. I try to squeeze mine into 4 days a week because the weekends can be very unpredictable with family plans, traveling. And so I know in order to get my word count in, I have to be consistent on those 4 days each week. So about 2,500 words, 4 days a week, 10,000 words a week. At least that's how it stands right now. For my second book, I definitely am not writing the first draft on that. I need to finish the first draft on my first book, first and foremost. But as soon as I am done with that first draft, I will be going right into book two first draft. So as book two stands right now, I have an initial outline done for it, and I'm kind of going through the specific outline. I'll be talking more in a future video about my writing process and all the different outlines that I go through. But the story is set. I'm just working on the specifics and making sure that it gets done how I want to. If this is any indication, I am definitely an architect when it comes to writing books. I tried being a gardener with it early on, and it led to frustration, and it was definitely not my style. I'll talk more again about that in another future episode as well. But suffice it to say that the outline phase is going really well for it. And starting in 2024, I hope to be getting into the first draft with that while completing the second draft of book one. So definitely will be a busy new year coming up, but I'm very excited for it, and I'm excited to get to share these stories with you all. I'm definitely working my best to create very exciting, epic fantasy stories for everyone to enjoy. So what can you do to help? Well, first, like this video. Please comment below, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. Feel free to do any and all of that as it so pleases you. Also, please visit my website, which I will link below, jalexjagir.com, where you can follow where I'm at with my books, read my blogs. Just check it out for yourself and see the about information. Also on there, you can use the contact form to reach out to me, and we can talk about anything you want to. It'd be great just to chat about anything that's on your mind. Also on there, you can subscribe to my newsletter, which I will be promoting more and more as it gets to the new year. I have some fun ideas I think that'll be good for those who subscribe to the email, just providing some exclusive content and getting you excited for my future book releases. That is it for now. Again, if you haven't checked out my first introduction video, please go ahead and do that. I'm excited that you made it to the end of this video. Hopefully you will join for more, and I am excited to continue on this adventure. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.